Oh. Hey guys. I got an extra source on here. Let's take that off. There we go. Guys, everybody, welcome. Alright. Thank you everybody for being here. Guapa, Kevin, Snoozerton, welcome. I guess we'll just go here first. I've got a bunch of stuff in the background, but it's fine. Alright, so we got a few things going on tonight. We just want to get some film scanning up and going. What scanner do you use? I use a DSLR. So this is DSLR scanning. I have a copy stand, and a few other things. I got a lot of stuff from Negative Supply, including the light source, the scan holder, the mount, and then I use my Nikon D750. So you guys could actually all look at that by hitting the gear command. If you want to hit exclamation gear, you can find out a little bit more about what it is I do. And there's a whole section there on film scanning. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't quite 100% ready because I was just trying to figure out this whole bot situation for the last like 20 minutes. So I don't have everything set up 100% yet. I got like 2-3 more minutes of setup. Plus, also, the 2 packages that were just redeemed by Snoozerton and Quappa. I actually haven't gotten those yet, so I need to go like grab those. So I'm not quite ready yet, so bear with me, guys. I'm gonna just go. We'll check to go and see. How about this? I'm gonna set up this whole scanning station as of right now, and we'll just see how much more work we gotta do afterwards. Then I'll go downstairs and grab what I need to grab. But everybody, welcome. Again, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. We got 5 rolls, and I gotta look at them here and see what we got. Trying to figure out in what order I should go in here. See. Let's see. There's a few from Malibu. Just a little challenging to tell. I think I see the 2 that were prior because I kind of want to go in order. And so I think I see the first 2. So I'm gonna grab these first 2. Alrighty. Give me a second. Okay, so I got 2 rolls right in front of me. I'm gonna just gently set one down. Right here. And again, I'm not quite certain which one came first. Let's find out. Setting this up right here. Okay. So let's just go back to this, and we're just gonna do a little sample scan. Because right now we're just a situation here where we figure out what the heck it is we're doing. Because I don't know the order of everything yet, and there's a couple, like I just have a bunch of rolls out of order. I try to number them, but I have like a solid many. I have a solid many rolls that are kind of all out of order, so we're up to about like 370-ish now, and I just don't know the order. So we're just gonna call this C for now. Let's try this out. Once we got our whole sample situation correct, I'm gonna run down and grab those two packages. Let me think about that. Yeah, I'm gonna go run down and grab those packages, and I'll open them up on the face cam. I think after we get through all these scans, we're gonna switch back to our overhead and then just take a quick look at a few things. So, realize this might not even be on. There we go. All right, live view. And I'm gonna have to end up like shifting myself on this desk here. Okay, so I find there's a whole lot not quite correct here, so we're gonna go and switch this up. I believe I usually do F10 and 100, and then we close this, and then I also got to make sure that I am in the right mode. All right, cool. All right. Okay, so we're like almost there, just not 100%. Having a lot of fun with film, right on. It is a lot of fun, isn't it? All right, let me, on my end here, blow this up. Can I blow this up? Face this towards myself. Okay, so the idea that I have here is that hand crank is sadly on the other side. Trying to get as much picture as possible here. Feel as though we're almost there. I think that's pretty much where we want to be, I believe. Casey's been showing a lot too. Yeah, I noticed. Super sick. Okay, I think that's just about it. So, knowing that this is what, Portrait 160, I don't think I've very frequently shot Portrait 160 on 120. I don't think that's happened too often. So I'm just gonna choose, I guess, some random one. I don't know if we have much choice here. It'll probably be up past here, 120. Yeah, some of these just aren't even described here fully. This is just a random. I just have it listed as A. Yeah, not anything really here, so I'm just gonna choose a random one. I guess we'll just choose Portrait Outdoors. Did it capture? Steven, what's going on? Hey, Moon Operator, welcome. You're here with? Oh my gosh, there's a lot going on. Jin boy. Oh, Jinful. What's going on, man? All right, so it feels like this didn't capture, which is strange. Oh wow, that took quite some time. All right, sadly, I did not realize, but everything is upside down. Also, I may have gone a little too close. Jin Boy asks what you are doing. I just talked to Jin Boy. Jin Boy, we are doing some medium format photo film scans. We're just in the middle of getting set up here, and on top of that, I am not fully set up for this stream right now, considering that we had some package opening redemptions, and I have not gotten my package from the mailroom yet, or my 2 packages from the mailroom. So maybe we just want a little bit more room there. It's like, let's see if we can keep going. I want to say, like, let's call that good. Alright, and then, unfortunately, when we scan like this, everything turns out upside down. So, I'm wondering... I don't think there's any way around this, unless I flip the whole thing 180 degrees, which isn't the worst idea in the world. Just annoying because I've already set all this up. I think we should. What do you guys think? I think we should. Yeah, I think we should. Let's do it. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to flip this whole setup around. And again, package opening still pending. Thanks everybody for being here. Let's just pull this out. Okay. I'm gonna do a little 180 flip of will that do anything? I'm getting this sense here that that will actually not do anything. Because I still need this. Yeah, I can't really show what it is really going on here, but I actually think that this this endeavor of trying to rotate the whole setup 180 degrees, which again I acknowledge you can't see, is a rather useless one. So let's just forget I said anything. And I have to figure out how exactly to plug all these things back in. Light source back in. There we go. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody, but I may have to go onto my BRB screen really fast so that I can run down for a minute or two, grab my mail. Yeah, I don't think that whole situation was going to be 100% useful. Trying to picture a reality where it is. Have to feed it in this way. Yeah, that makes no sense. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna have everything come in 180 degrees and then just rotate it on our way in. Okay. Got it, got it. Alright, I'm still gonna have to shift quite a bit. So we're gonna slightly move some of this. I set up shifting just a little bit because I need to be able to reach over to the station in order to advance the film. Drink some water. Alrighty. These guys. We're gonna restart this at 1. I'm gonna take that shot one more time, and it should hopefully be good. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. Alright guys, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be back in like 2 minutes. I'm gonna go grab that mail. I do recognize we have some packages to open, like planned. So I'm gonna be back. Enjoy the music. All right, we are back. All right, 2 packages as requested and part of the redemptions. Grab a pair of scissors and what else I need? I need that oh, there it is, the box cutter that I'm always losing. All right, so let's take a look. See what we got here. So for our first package, oh. I don't know how well this can be seen, but we got 2 packages, both from DigiKey. I stupidly placed 2 different orders. I could have just placed one, saved $5 in shipping. But we got here. These are JST connection header units here. So, as from before, I got this mask on. As from before, I had this 2 PCBs that just sort of got borked. These plain 60 PCBs. The USB-C connectors just kind of broken off. So we're gonna try this out instead, and we're gonna see how this fares using a JST AI03 daughter board. Yep. So we should be good. The second package, let's see. I may not have even needed to buy this, but I wanted to. So and the second one probably more useless, but it's here. We got about 4. I thought about 5. I guess we got 4. 4 JST cables. Looks like they should work. The thing about the plain 60 Alps PCB specifically is that it's plain 60 PCB based off an older revision. That Alps version is based on an older revision, which means that I think I need to rewire these, which is probably not going to be super easy. Now that I'm thinking about it, because the color of all these cables is every single one is black. So I'm gonna guess that this is not gonna be the easiest thing in the world, but we're gonna try and figure it out. So there we have it. My 2 packages opened up. Snoozer 10, Guapa. There you go. Alrighty. Let's get back to it here. Alright. Now, what I want to do at this stage, I mean, even before we continue, is so I'm wondering. It feels like this should get smaller, but it doesn't. I guess it's just that big. All right. I'm gonna redo the inversion. Just because I think we can get the colors correct at this point. All right, looking a bit better, I think. Let's take a look, see what we can get. Oh, I like soft. Ooh. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's just the tint needs to be shifted up a little bit, I think. Something a little bit interesting about these colors, but I kind of want to see how it'll fare. Now, at least for now, I don't hate it. So we're gonna go through and say we're gonna call this C120. What is this? Portrait 160. 10, 60, 100 outdoor. Okay. And then, now that we've done that, we are going to punch that in there. And now we can just go and continue. So let's try this out. What should happen now is that I should be able to push this right through. Oh man. That is not my favorite thing in the world here that has happened, which is I think typically this door should open, but I'm struggling to keep it open because this hood is too long. Now what I can do probably is let's take off the hood temporarily. That does open now. Let's try this. Okay. Now this is interesting because I'm realizing, yeah, I'm still zoomed in a little too much. So see if we can make some adjustments here. Out a little much. Alright, so now it is very narrow. So you may want to just go out just a little bit. Andy, welcome. Investigate 311 smiley over the top. Thank you. Thank you for your fantastic contributions. Alright, I gotta get this hood back on. Okay. It just barely doesn't fit in. Good lord. Okay. We're just gonna raise it up then until this door does go through. Okay. Let's try it again. Alright. So we have ample space on both sides now, and this door can open and close well. And I guess I think that's what I want. I mean, it's better than before. Okay. Alright, so this is interesting now. I'm looking at this like, well, here we have some skin tones. Maybe we could base these colors just a little bit better. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Everything is a sandwich. I got a huge reaction recently to a situation that occurred, Andy, which was people are talking about what goes first, the cereal or milk. It was a conversation that was just happened to be had, and that morning, just prior to me walking into this conversation, I had cereal that morning, and I was kind of like, I woke up and I was kind of in a daze. It's clearly milk first, so it splashes all over the place once you load the cereal. So I was kind of in a daze, right? And I pulled out the bowl, and like I typically put the cereal first, But I was like, it was early. I was still tired, so I pulled out the bowl, and I don't know, something in my head got scrambled up just a little bit. So I started pouring the milk into the bowl. Started, and then I stopped myself. I was like, wait, I'm not supposed to be doing this. So I stopped, and then I poured the cereal in, and there wasn't enough milk. So then I poured more milk into it. And then I explained this. And I explained this. I didn't explain the part where I was kind of groggy. But I explained this and in this conversation, and everyone just got a huge, like, it caused a huge uproar. And it hit me that I made a, like in doing this, I made a cereal sandwich. The milk first, and the cereal, and then more milk. It's a sandwich. Does anyone do both at the same time, one in each end? Ooh, probably, especially if the bowl is big enough. All right. So let's see if we can get the coloration better. At least a little bit. See, like I feel like we have some issues here. Is there milk flavored cereal? Ooh. Oh, I would get that. Okay. So I have a little bit of an issue here. I developed 5 rolls of 120 at once. And as I pulled it out, like all of the film like had kind of different color casts from each other. Now, granted, some of them were different film stocks, but I'm typically used to the more orangey look, and it didn't come in here. So we got this issue. It's like it's hard to get the skin tones right, and I think it might be because of the cast on the film. Could be anything. Let's see if we can change the LUT. Yeah, this ain't doing necessarily what I want it to. Shadow soft. So I feel like there's going to be a point where hopefully I get into a situation where I have better luck calibrating here for this. Now, could be like, can we fix the color balance issues pre-inversion? I almost feel like there's kind of almost too much light coming in. So I'm gonna just take the shot again, F13, see what happens. See, like, there's a crazy color cast here, but somehow there's a little bit, seemingly a little bit more accuracy in this. Let's see what happens here. Kind of get the same situation, unfortunately. Let's keep. I feel like we can keep giving it a crack here. just a little bit challenging when the film comes out this way. This is kind of the trouble that I've had with Portra in the past. The closest thing that I've ever really heard was that of just trying to explain this sort of phenomenon is that in fact, like cheaper films. So it's like this. I've never really had that crazy of a problem of an issue with any Fuji film, whether it was their pro or consumer films. I've only really had this with Portra, Kodak Portra, and really inconsistently. And I feel like what I have heard is that pro films like Portra, even though I didn't find this happening with Pro 400H on Fuji, but pro films like Portra might be a lot more sensitive and not hold up quite as well, like outside of perfect conditions, like literally environmental conditions. Like say I'm keeping this film in really hot heat, it's not going to retain its colors quite as well as even its own consumer films like GC or Ultramax. It's kind of what I've heard. How true is that? I'm not 100% certain, but it is what I've heard. So. Alrighty. I think this is the closest that we're gonna get here. Now, I guess I'll remove this. I want to save this yet again. Call this 2. And I'm going to delete this as well. I'm wondering... I don't think I'm going to change that. And also I realized I kind of renamed that badly. What was it? C Outdoor 2? Yeah. Rename. This is supposed to be F13. Okay, so let's try this. Let's try this like this. And then let's set this guy. Okay. All right, I'll keep it moving. We are less than a quarter through the first of 5 rolls, so just got to keep it going. So all these shots here were on a photo walk with Ada and her friends here in Golden Gate Park, San Francisco. I'm not quite certain that I've done the ordering of this correctly. I think there may have been... I think this is the first roll. I'm gonna keep trying this because I feel like we're hopefully on the right path. Like this, I find is a little bit more passable, but there's still obviously something not preferred about what I'm seeing here. Yeah. Okay, at this stage, I feel like I'm not going to trip too hard because we're going to get kind of the same results as we keep going. So like unfortunately, I don't think, and I can just try this. I don't think that putting this through that F10 is going to change a whole lot. Let's see. Kind of does. Yeah, this one's like definitely like a bluer, like a cooler green. I think this one's gonna work a little tiny bit better. We can shift it in that direction. We don't need to, but we can. Warming it up does that. That is a little bit bizarre. Yeah, we'll stick with this. I think I'm chill with this, knowing that everything's gonna be like this. Okay. Kind of blown this here. Remove. Reset this to what I think is supposed to be 5. And we're going to bump this up to F13 again. Really underexposed here. So that's just a mistake on my part. Not metering quite right. Point metering kind of gone awry there in aperture priority mode. I'm gonna guess this one too. I went into aperture priority mode for a lot of this. So we're gonna see a lot of these types of issues. That's unfortunate. It looks like we might have gotten either a scratch on the film, or maybe that's just dust, like right in his face. So I could try to clean this up, but at the same time, it's going to be really underexposed in any real capacity here. So I think a lot of these might end up being not really a great roll. Not really a great run here. Shooting can get pretty challenging. There's something here. I don't know what I'm really even looking at this stage. Might just be a small opening. Ooh. No, I think I was trying to get this squirrel. See if we can get a little closer there. It's not that great a shot. It's cool getting all of the green though. these kind of get a. I think this is our first look here at the 80 millimeter. I think I was getting Paul here trying to shoot the same squirrel, but I just got the shot of Paul. But we got some really cool bokeh just in the background here from this lens. Really quite nice. It's a very, very nice lens that I tend to forget. Is this nice? Especially look at that. I think I did go f2 on here. But actually, you know, I think this might have been Ada. Ada might have shot this. This series of Paul shooting the squirrel. Little deer statue in the distance. Color's looking nice. I think that's the hawk or some kind of bird in the distance there. I forget exactly what it was. Might have been like a hawk or something. But didn't pick up quite as well as I might have liked. It's hard to get close doing like this foot zoom, and you know, there's areas kind of gated off. We're trying to get the shot, but I don't think that I was the one equipped to do it. Same hawk, I think, right there, right in the middle. That's what it looks like. But again, pretty underexposed, and you know, can't really blame anybody, maybe except for myself. Here's a shot of Ada. This one could definitely use like a sort of re-inversion just to make sure that we've gotten it right. Alright, appears to be the last one on this roll. And there's that closer shot of this squirrel burrowing. Just burrowing away here. Okay, so I think the one with Ada is probably possibly our best bet at trying to get a shot that looks right. And if we can't make it happen here, I think we're going to have to chalk it up to issues in doing so because of the cast on the film. Possibly due to, I don't know, not really quite correct keeping of the film, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna see just off the bat here, is doing his best to invert here, and I'm not sure if we've really just gotten it really at all. Just really problematic here when the film kind of gets like this. Inability to sort of have the skin tones be how we want it to be. So we could try to turn this positive and then maybe get a little closer. But again, I think we have the situation where maybe this whole entire role in general had a bit of an issue here. Me underexposing really all of it. And I think that that's kind of a little bit of a weakness here, I think. Especially when I'm trying to shoot, or, most of the time when I try to shoot, I think I am underexposing, and I think that that's kind of a bit of a downfall. It's a habit that I have from shooting concerts with an auto camera, which is kind of to say, like, I underexpose in dark concerts because I know that the auto is going to be set off primarily by the darkness, and I'm trying to avoid dealing with like the auto long shutter speeds. So if I know that I can like just underexpose, it'll like sort of compensate in the other direction and sort of just reduce the shutter speeds, and it'll focus on what parts are more brightly lit. Now, I usually then keep all of my cameras, like whether they be auto or an aperture priority, to be underexposed, like minus anywhere between a 0.3 and a minus 2.0. But then you get situations like this where, like, hey, I can expose like maybe a really brightly lit scene, and just like tone it down a little bit, which ends up being okay. But sometimes when there's a big portion of this kind of swept away underneath underexposure, then we have some issues. Combined with the fact that we might be having these sort of strange casts due to poorly kept film, then it's just kind of unfortunately not going to be up to par. Which is a shame. I mean, we got shots like this, which are really nice. I think this one was from Ada, I believe. Let's see if we can make something happen out of these shots. Feel a little doubtful, but let's see if we can get colors right here. So again, like pretty washed out. Then here, it's like better, but then we just kind of just have this sort of interesting cast. I think that this is probably the best that we're gonna get, which I don't think is better than what we had before, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, this is just better. So the alternative here is we can like just export a positive. Where is that? Export. Yeah, let's do a positive TIFF. Once we have this positive TIFF, then we can kind of continue to play around a little bit more with some of these. And get this maybe closer to where we might want it to be. Perhaps. And we just kind of play with sliders all day, and nothing wrong with that, but sometimes in a pinch you're trying to do things a little bit more quickly. Might not be the most effective use of time. Can be. Before, after. Yeah, I mean, that's just the situation. All right. I'm gonna move on to the next roll. We've been on this roll, just dealing with sort of the effects of this roll for like the last hour. Not trying to necessarily turn this into a 5-hour stream, so I think and I hope that we can get through the next 4 rolls a lot more quickly. Let's try it out now. An issue that I see here is that we still got a couple more. At least this one here is another Portra 160. So let's try it out, see where we get. All right. Guess what we could do here, without having to close and open a tether, just readjust these settings here. Seems to be a weird bump. All right. Hard to position this first frame, but I think we've gotten it now. This is also 120 Portra 160, and we'll see here. I do have this filter set up already from the previous roll. This one I think we're gonna have a little bit more luck, at least I think. Maybe for more than one reason. One is, hey, here's a better shot here of someone with skin tone. Two is we'll just have to see. It's a different roll, so we'll see how well this roll maybe was kept by me, or again, maybe there's this other situation here where it might not have been kept as well prior to it even being in my hands. That's me shifting the blame off to someone else. I recognize I'm doing that. Let's see. It's hard because at this stage it's like it looks pretty. We can get it to a point where, I mean, somehow like when you go warm, some of these colors just seem a little wild. That looks wild to me. Like I don't look at this and think like, oh yeah, this is Portra, you know. So this is a problem with this cast, I think. As soon as you try to get like the greens back in order, there goes like, you know, the skin tones. That's sort of the unfortunate part of all this. So Snoozeton, it's bedtime. Hey, Snoozeton, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate having you as always. Hope you have a good night's rest. Take care. See you next time. Let's see. this work? What does the 200% do? And this one's like the extreme of just pulling the contrast up like crazy. Whoa, you get some mad shifts with this. Huh. I kind of want to reset this. Alright. So here's where we're. God dang. It's like, what do you do? You look like you need sleep? Me? No, I'm good. You're good out here. You look like you need sleep. You're the one leaving. I mean, I guess let's just continue along and see if the rest will come in the way I want it to. Unlikely, just considering the pattern we've seen thus far. But worth a shot. We're trying to take a shot of this kite that was stuck in the tree, but again, a little bit of underexposure. No filter on the camera at this time. I wanted to get sort of the look of the sky and the trees, but new filter would have helped, and then just trying to dial this in a little bit better. Heavy underexposure. My. Yeah, this is... I want to fix this. I would like to fix this sooner rather than later. Because I feel like there is some semblance of a good picture here. But let's see if we can get it. You know? This appears to be the 35mm lens. Oh yeah, it's just really underexposed, yeah. Ooh, yeah, not so good of a choice here. Taking it down minus 0.7, and the metering is going to capture it like this. Maybe not the best of choices. Alright, we'll continue. A little hard to tell where the picture stops and starts. Try again. I'll sync that up. Again, pretty underexposed here. I look at these and sometimes I think there's a good picture in here, and we try to solve it by doing these reinversions. And sometimes I stop the whole flow just to see if we can get it, because I feel like we can. Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, this one's just like, it's really trying to crank everything up, so it went nuts with this inversion. Nuts. Yeah, this is pretty gnarly. I mean, how do I put this? I don't hate this, it's just completely wrong. But this is the picture I found. Alright, Dimitri with a bunch of geese. That's pretty cool, taking it with this wide 35mm lens. But it's cool, like I think the 35 here is just so cool. Because you get a little bit of warp, but not in a way that you really imagine or picture it. And I love that. Yeah, I like this a lot. This one's cool. I'm a big fan. It's like, yet again, can we unlock the picture that it's supposed to be? This becomes a question every single time I do this. Aha. There we go. I'm certain that this is more like what we want. Now let's just see how it'll compare when applying it, syncing it with some of these other photos. Not so much, I don't think. Well, this is kind of where we want it. I think it's just exposed differently, so. Okay. Let's keep it going. More ducks. And with that, another to sync. That's nice. I like. I think this was a shot. We were trying to get a catfish. Trying to get a catfish here. I don't know if I got it in time. Let's take a look at this. Ah, the focus. Ah, that's unfortunate. This catfish was coming up to the surface just real fast. And I mean, I'm just slow to it here on film. except Ada. I really want to see it, you know? I want to see the picture. See if we warm it up. Yeah, I don't know about this. It gets really weird because one would think and hope that we could get a good inversion, one that does the skin tones well. And I think it's a tough thing to deal with because you're supposed to look at this and know, like, portrait's supposed to give us what we want, and I think the color cast on the film from poor keeping here is just tough. So yeah, this is like, it's taking us all over the place, and it kind of seems like the NLP algorithm just doesn't know what to do. So we can get ourselves back into a situation where I could try exporting the positive and then just trying to make the adjustments from there. I think that would be our best bet. Because Ada looks really washed out here. Alright, continuing. Looks like that live view has really just kind of stopped, hasn't it? A huge lag. Washed out yet again. I don't know that this is a photo that I'll want to put a whole lot of time into. I think really just a lot of focus issues, just having the camera in hand here. What do we have? 120. Give me a second here. Nice shot. Oh, I think this right here is the shutter speed. I believe. Yeah, there it is. 45, 1/45 of a second. It's tough. It's tough to get a shot when it's exposing like this. Okay. Yeah, I was at f8. That was gonna be tough. Next one, there's not a whole lot in this frame. Let's take a look and see what we get. Yeah, this was just a rough one. This one too also looks like we have some sort of focus or shake issues here. Can't really look at it and just kind of tell. So here I should have dialed down the aperture or something, or just made it wider. This one looks like I did do just that. And I think possibly it was at that point that I realized, hey, I need to make some adjustments. And I think this one will turn out a little bit better. Yep. See what we can get. Try to get something good. Ooh, not bad. Ooh, not bad. Not bad. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up. Let's keep it like this, and let's see how well these can be applied to any other shot. Let's give it a go here. It's okay. Just brighter. How much did I do here? I don't even recall. That's all right. I think that's probably still the direction we want to go in. Okay, so I think, I'll be perfectly honest, I think this one might be the best inversion we've gotten on the last two rolls. And it can't really even be fully applied to everything, but it is the best so far. For skin tones, whoops. Oh, that gives me an interesting idea. You could do the scan and just do your multiple exposures in the scan instead of on the camera. This is a cool shot. Yeah, I don't hate that one. Oof. Oof. What is this? Look at that giant band. I wonder if this is I think I recall accidentally pulling in my I brought this camera to Malibu, I think the following week, which is going to be the next like couple of rolls. This is photo number 14. And I'm wondering here if this was the roll that actually accidentally went through the X-ray. And we'll find that out pretty soon. Because that band doesn't looks no good. All right. This is this I don't know, the groundhog or gopher. Ada got a really good shot of it on her phone. Let's see, I'll pull in that duck. The duck inversion. I don't think I get the clarity I quite want out of this, but what is cool is we could probably just end up cropping this into something something nicer, and like I don't know, maybe by virtue of this, like actually usable. It's just the clarity here just gets just makes everything really busy, and maybe you can't quite see what it is you really want there, but you know what? I'm curious. See what we get. Interesting. It's definitely not quite as warm as before, but I think that actually helps. Helps quite a lot. Even when you warm it up, the auto warp really tones that down, which I actually think it just helps quite a lot. So this kind of gets at this stage relegated to just a 35mm frame almost to this point. really not much different at that stage. Okay, let's check this last one. I think there's one more frame in here and we can tell. Yep, this was the roll that got through the x-ray, because this is Malibu by this point. Okay, and then yeah, F16, so that's a big whoops on the blur there. But it looks like, yeah, the next 3 rolls are going to be Malibu. And I'm quite excited to see how they'll turn out here. Let's check it out. Okay, gonna go grab, I'll grab each roll individually. And I'm going to try to determine which one's first. That one's definitely not it. I think it's probably gotta be this one. Yeah, it's gotta be this one. No, there's no way it's this one. Is it? Yeah, not a chance. Not a chance. Alright. I want to go in order. I really do. And trying to guess from the negatives in hand is... it's not the simplest task. We are trying. I think it's this one. All right, next step. Oh, Paul. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Watch Boy. While I was off screen. All right. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed the last 2 rolls, if you were able to catch them. Alrighty. That is a little bit off. Get a little more. I wish there was just more for this to grasp onto, but alright, let's go for that. Alrighty. Okay, let's go E. Let's call this 1. This is not really holding itself super well. I think it's this brush. The anti-static brush here is kind of not really putting it in the position I want it to be. Let's try to hold this in place like that. Yep, there we go. I think this is where we want it. This is now 400, so let's go and find a comparable 400 to play around with. 120, portrait 400. There's got to be something in here. Maybe it's just been that long. Let's try to go F10. See what happens here. What we got? Ooh. Well, that most definitely is not what this shot's supposed to look like. An interesting look nonetheless. While we're here, let's mess with it. Let's see the picture it's supposed to be. This is the homie Tyson. Ooh. Woo! Woo! Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I'm gonna go auto neutral, but this is looking somewhat solid. What y'all think? I'm liking this a lot. All right, let's go save this preset, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of this roll. So we'll call this E, portrait 400, let's call this F10, outdoor. All right, let's get it moving. Let's get it moving. I like this, man. Holy smokes. Alrighty. Whoops. Where are we at? E? Where's that? There we go. Sick. There he's yet again. We got Tyson there. Oh, it's the toaster. And we might have caught that story. Posted a little while ago. It's got a lot of elicited a pretty fun and interesting response. Now, this one is indoor, so might need to run a different inversion on this. It'll react like a little bit differently, I think. Just based off the contents of the photo, how the algorithm is going to want to act. Let's see where NLP takes us here. There we go. Let's see if we can get that pre-saturation up, see what happens. So this is interesting because there is like definitely a noticeable color cast on this roll of film. But the issues aren't presenting itself quite as severely as the previous two 160 rolls. And so I find that somewhat interesting. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan, and I feel like maybe just maybe don't know. I kind of want to shy away from 160. Sometimes when I just have bad experiences with certain roles, I'll just shy away from them for a very, very long while before I come to realize, hey, it was never the role's fault. It was possibly user error on my end, most honestly, and more probably, I don't know, just some other handling error in the meantime. But look at this. That is nice. I'm gonna see if Jose is on. See if I can reach out to Jose. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna be texting Jose right now. All right. Just texted Jose. Let him know. Because I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I hope you guys like it too. Color's looking nice here. Wow. Not like the last two rolls. Oh my god. Nice little shot there. It's okay. It could be better. Just sort of touring this resort area here. Some of these are going to expose just quite a bit differently. I think I did spend a lot of shots up here from this tower, getting a good look at the resort from up high. So you're going to see a lot of the same shot here throughout the next three rolls, I think. And it looks like, I mean, these shots are going to have to be re-inverted, I think. Or maybe we could do that. Maybe now. Let's try that out. I just want to do it. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Obviously, we warm that up. I need somewhere between that neutral and that warm, I think. Let's go with that. Sync that with the previous. See where we get there. That's a bit better, I think. All right. Oh, we already had this next one up. This is that backyard. Got those clouds, those outdoor beds, all that. Looking real good. I feel like I have shifted this down quite a bit too much. Let's see if I can make a possible readjustment. I think it worked. Pretty wild, I think. Some of these exposing just quite a little bit differently on that aperture priority. Look at that. So we're getting here 45 shutter speed, and it's looking real solid. My hand was steady, and or he just stayed super still. Meanwhile here, that was a wider lens, but I guess most of that was being exposed because of the sky. And brighten the person up. I mean, kind of gonna lose the sky, so. Alright. A little too close here. A little bit shaky. Whoops. Tried straightening that just a little bit, but nothing will beat me straightening it in post here. Ah, no. Okay, I hope I have more photos than this. Ah, I blew it. Sorry, Jose. I blew it. Way underexposed. Oh, man. Jose, I blew it. Oops. Let's see if we can recover anything. Anything. Whoops. That ain't good. There were a few things wrong here. I think obviously I underexposed this way too much. Let's take a look. Just trusting the in-camera meter, but most of the sky was just really bright. But I think I needed to position myself just a little bit more to get him in frame here and here. Jose, man, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry about that one, but hey, let's take a look and see what other shots we got of Jose here. We like found the shed. The shed was in a lighthouse. This is that nighttime scene here. I don't know where these pictures are going to stop and start, to be honest. Let's just say it's there. Alright, the resort at nighttime. It's pretty cool. It's that master bathroom. Yeah, also at nighttime. Let's see if we can get this one synced up. See what'll change. Yeah, that cools that down just a little bit. It's really quite nice. That nice tub. Let's take a look and see. Next day here. So that same background. Right, and I think that's it. That's it on that roll. 2 more rolls to go. Oh, I feel so disappointed. We were working so hard at that one shot of Jose. We were working so hard, and I just blew it there. I feel like I was working so hard at trying to frame and trying to get them modeled correctly. I did very little of the most important part, which was metering. Let's see. I want to say... Oh, this one right here, we got another 160. I feel like we're going to have a number of these color cast issues again for yet another roll. Another roll, we're going to have some color cast issues. But the very last one, I think, after this one, is going to be the one we're going to have the least issues with. I can just kind of foresee it. Least amount of problems on the next one, but this one's going to be, I predict, really quite bad. And let's find out. Alrighty. I don't know. Oh, no. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. This is not the best shot. I think I was trying to capture a lizard, but in any case, let us go into a new folder here. I think this was how this looked, but also we need to go back to our 160. Just something like that. Okay, so I wonder if we ought to switch back here to this very last one. Let's give it a shot. There's a chicken we found. I think the chicken was kind of, this one in particular was like kind of out of the coop because he was a little sick. The maintenance guy was telling us he was like a little sick, so I think he was like, it was weird because he was being like anti-quarantined, where it's like every other chicken was in the coop and then this guy was just kind of walking around, which was interesting. But you can kind of tell, I think, like he had like some feathers missing, all that. Color is not bad here, but I'm really reserving my judgment because you got a situation where I just synced and it ended up looking like that. So I think this is going to be on a per shot basis. We're going to have to see how these will end up all looking. I think the previous one is probably because I was shot on the F10. Oh yeah, you can see he's like a little hurt on the right side of his head. Let me save this preset. This would be, I think we're on F now, right? F. There we go. Okay. Really hopeful these colors are how we want it to be. I'm not certain yet. Let's see. I'm really liking the color so far. I'm wondering how well we could try to use this inversion, this preset on some of those previous rolls. So this is kind of the moment of truth. Let's see how it fares on Ada's skin. Okay, really overexposed here by this point. So I wanna give it a shot trying to redo this. Let's see how this turns out. There is also this chance that maybe I kept this roll better. This batch of rolls from Malibu might have been kept better somehow than the others. Yeah, like I like this more than the previous rolls. I really do. So I'm pretty happy about this. I'm not gonna lie. So we have two presets so far here for roll F, the Portrait 160, and so we'll probably be swapping here and there between some of the next shots on the roll. See how this turns out. Interesting. So that number 2 is really just a lot better than the number 1 for some reason for this shot of Ada. Oh yeah. Little RC car here. I think it really is just that one shot of Ada with the sun coming directly into her. I think that one just needed a slightly different inversion scheme. Let's try going high. Ooh, that looks fantastic. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like that looks real good. That looks so good. My God. All right. All right, here's that same bathtub, but this time in the daytime. So let's see how this sort of peers in here. That looks real cool, especially that view. Getting that, I think you'd have to be tall enough to see over the windows to be able to get that view. Got this cool little koi pond here. Give me a second. One second here, guys. Okay, back to it. Yeah, I think sometimes when the sun's beaming in, I think that's kind of when I need to hit up that second preset. So got a little more definition on the pathway here. Cool little koi pond at the resort. Very cool. This one kind of needs, I think, like a little in between, because this really got darkened up, but this is like a little too much. So we'll come back and redo that one in a bit. Ooh. This one too, I think, a little tad bit underexposed, as I'm usually shooting that way. So I think we can take a closer look at maybe this in the next one. Yep. This one could be better. So we'll try to do some reinversions on these last, looks like, last couple. Giannis's face got really warped on my round stomach here. All those t-shirt folds on this large t-shirt. Came in a little dark. All these were looking, whoa. All of these were looking to redo, I think. Alright. That's the end of this roll. Alright, one very last roll. I'm gonna go grab it. The last one that probably, I think, and I hope, just based off of like looking at the roll, I'm thinking and hoping it's gonna turn out much better just based off of the extreme lack of the lack of the extremely weird color cast. So let's take a look. This one is literally like, it looks like my Pro 400s did. Look at that. It's just like a totally different cast. Alrighty. Last roll, guys. G1. Let's switch this up to something that's a Portrait 800 and 120. How many 120 Portrait 800s here on file? Struggling to see one. I think this is one. Let's go back to F10. See what we get here. Any second now. Oh. Okay. Not quite how I imagined that to look, but let's retry again. This one had the least strange color cast in terms of all these rolls. Let's hope that NLP can see what's going on, know what to do, and get our colors right. Oof. Yep, that is it. That most definitely is it. All right. Okay. Sick. Sick. Get down to G, Portrait 100. There's another. Alright, well, that one really underexposed, but I want to redo it. I think we can get some good out of it. Light not hitting quite the same way. NLP can try to find something just a little bit better here. I know it. Yep. A little bit better, but I think in general it was an underexposed shot. But I'm not going to complain about this, especially in comparison to what we just had, as well as what has happened on many of the previous rolls. Really cannot complain about how it's getting. The color's right. The colors. I'm looking at skin tones. I'm looking at kind of how to compare skin tones to what everything else looks like. Really cannot complain. I wonder. Sink in this. Oh. That's a nice shot. Damn. God damn. My latest hypothesis in with regards to all of this is really that I think Portrait 800. My latest hypothesis is just based off of what I was mentioning earlier. Portrait 800 might be closer to a consumer film than 400 or 160. That's my latest hypothesis. set this? Like in terms of maybe a sort of protection. I think I forget where I was reading it. I feel like the idea was consumer films are protected against, I guess, environmental elements more, like heat, just because they knew that they had to sacrifice quality for the fact that people want more passable photos. So it's like you might not get the same type of latitude, like exposure latitude, or just colors that you might get in Portra 400 or 160. You might get an Ultramax 400, but at least it's going to hold up better when you keep shifting things around. That's I think my latest thoughts on what's going on. And so Portra 800, knowing it's going to be a higher grain, that there's kind of this big mark here. But knowing it's like a higher grain is maybe where you look at it like, hey, was 800 a sacrifice? But I'm looking at this like, well, if it can hold up, I mean, that's all I'm really asking for. I mean, come on, look at that. Might as well just shoot 800 all the time now. It's me. Alike. You know, for a quick second I was looking at this and thought it was Ada until I saw the arms. Alright, it's getting darker and darker in the day here. So I'm going to switch that up right there. Just like that. I think this was actually, when I'm thinking about it, this might have been the following morning. I think about it now. Because this was a time of day that just looks totally different. No? This might have been the same. Let's keep it going. I think at some point we're really going to find out. Now, this might have been still that same evening. This is a fun shot. It's just a little bit aimless. I kind of wished I was getting a little bit more, but yeah. Kind of one of those Instagram shots, I suppose. Jose, did I underexpose you again? Please. I feel like I did. I had like one really solid shot of Jose, and I think I kind of borked a lot of these others, unfortunately. Let's see if we can grab any more info out of this. Yeah, it's just too underexposed, especially against that background. Oof. Look at that. I mean, there's our problem, you know? We just have Jose be a silhouette, I guess. Yikes. Jose, I feel like I failed Jose a lot. Over these several roles here. Just complete inability to meter properly against a nice bright background. Because you can see I turn 180, take this picture of Yupu here, and that is lit very well. Fortunately though, you can see like this huge, some kind of flaring issue, possibly a flare, possibly, I don't know, some other kind of issue, banding. I don't think this went through the X-ray, but we got some issues there. Oh, this one's fun. I think this had to have been... Was this the next morning? What number are we on? It's 13 photos. Okay, yeah. I think 13, 14, 15, 16. These next 4 photos were the following morning, me trying to burn the roll. Just so that I don't have to get it through the X-ray. This is interesting because even by this point, like, it's gone really extreme. It's just very highly saturated. Let's see if we can pull that saturation. Let's try very low. Just a complete other end by this point. Oh, that's pretty low. Okay. Default. Let's try default. Wait a second. That was weird because 3 and 5 seem very high, but 1 seems very low. Even 2 seems very high. I feel like I can only just go to a 1. Just clicking all these buttons trying to get to where I think we need to be. Let's go with this. Here we're running to what appears to be another exposure issue. Unfortunately. Kind of plagued with for a good lot of this trip, huh? Rather unfortunate. That's a... That would have been a cool backdrop. But I feel like we were definitely blowing it. Me, for the most part, just because I had my hand on the camera most of the weekend here. Such a nice, brightly lit background, and I feel like trusting the camera metering on aperture priority is probably a pretty poor idea, and so this stage is kind of like lesson learned, right? Alright, see what we got. I think the last 2 shots, well, this one's just kind of, at this stage, a lot of nothing as far as I can tell from this little live view. Let's see if we can get, yeah, I was trying to get these houses, but again, way too underexposed. Big mistake on my end, but very last one is again the resort at sunrise. Wow, that's sunrise. That's sunrise. Okay. I think that just about does it for all the actual scans. I don't know if anyone's been sticking around. Might be in chat listening in, or if anyone's got me on mute. But if anyone had a favorite, holler it out. Goal here was to get one of these, at least one of these. What it would have been 60, 80 shots today that we've scanned here. To see which one we can put up on Instagram. It's just under midnight now, so if anyone has any thoughts or any ideas, feel free, holler them out. Kind of want to bring these lights down here because it was like sunrise-ish by this point. Just want to be able to try to capture that. If anyone had a fave, let me know. Feel like so this is an import. Guess I'll just go back and we can look all over it. Yeah, everything is just about done here, so kind of thinking had to have been something either from the 400 to 800 rolls. We gotta play around with it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna reset up all of this. If anyone's just joining in, we had a number of shots here throughout the night. I'm gonna readjust my setup so that this this camera is back in my overhead view because I do want to be able to show a little something on the overhead. Let's see where we can get. Get repositioned here, everybody. Give me a moment, because I want to be able to show something, at least have a clip of it at some point. I feel like, just as a heads up preview here, I more so I've been thinking a lot. I've been thinking a lot recently, especially of trying to make more content and possibly make like YouTube content. Just has, you know, keyboard stuff, photo stuff here. I feel like it would be kind of a good way to branch out and just maybe have some growth from that, like just multiple platforms. And so I've like always been intending to try to go in this direction, but in the meantime, while I'm still doing Twitch stuff, it's like I realize I can just make my Twitch content here and then formulate it into YouTube videos, which might not be as clean because, you know, we got that little ticker in the bottom, and we got notifications going in, we got like my face cam, so it's just like very clearly a cut, some kind of super cut of a Twitch stream, but it's better than nothing. The reason I bring all that up is just because, I don't know, thinking of making clips of what I want to show overhead here tonight. And turn that into a YouTube video. But in any case, all right, let's take a look. Let me know what y'all think. I'm going through. This was, I think, the very last roll we just scanned. Some of these shots Ada took of me are real great. Like this one's real solid. Some of these, I feel like I really blew it with a lot of Jose's shots, but there was one that was really good. Granted. This one I really like. Somehow, I don't know why, but the lowest saturation setting got us here, which I feel like is a little bit undersaturated, but even just like the next level up to the next 4 levels, we're all just like way too much. So I guess while we're there, maybe we'll go back here real quick and let's try to figure out which ones are my favorites. That one's a real solid one. I really like a lot from this 800 roll, I'm not gonna lie. Ada killed it with some of these shots. Why does it seem like there's no difference? Something real fishy going on with this one. That was like not even changing. Real fishy here. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Might restart. Might restart Lightroom. I'm gonna do it. Let's restart Lightroom, guys. Ooh. Let's skip this time. Okay. Bring it back up. Let's kind of see where we get. Meanwhile, get this guy on. Get that overhead back in. Oh shit. Whoa, this team is very... I don't know what has happened here. Huh. Oh, I know what happened. There we go. I was like, what happened with all my colors? Better, I think. Okay. I feel like Lightroom has failed to reopen. Let's get it open. All right. Back to it. Let's try to figure out what's going on here. For some reason, it's just not taking in these settings. I don't quite know why. So it's giving me a lot of trouble. I'm not even saying that this is a picture I ever even want to use. I'm just really quite confused. I guess that's it. All right. Not much more to it than that. All right. So I guess I'm a little disappointed because I feel like these shots, these lighthouse shots of the mansion, aren't quite as good as I thought they'd be. But let's take a look. F. We'll just go all the way up. There's 5 rolls here, and the rolls aren't really particularly crazy. This one's pretty cool. I don't think I've modeled or posed the chicken quite right. Not as much as the one that's like kind of diseased there. Excuse me. It's like this one. This one's solid, I feel. The sick chicken. This one of Ada is really good. I like that. This one's interesting. I don't think this is a winner. Like this doesn't beat out every other photo, but I like it. Like this is the type of thing where yeah, I might just post this, I guess, on Instagram or something. That one's a pretty cool one. I recall I was trying to get this turtle. We kept seeing this turtle like creep up in this koi pond. And every time we would try to get near to get a shot, it would just go off, which was kind of a bummer. So I never actually ended up getting that pick. Alright, this one we said a little bit earlier, we would give a shot at trying to do another re-inversion, because I think there might be something here to this shot. Fortunately, it kind of just looks the same. Gee, sometimes it gets it totally off. It's crazy. I guess there was nothing there. Try this one. Not so optimistic about this one, but it's worth a shot. I'm thinking maybe if we bring the exposure up, maybe there'll be something there. Maybe. There's so much else going on in terms of what you can see here in the density that I don't know if you'll be able to get my face or capture it really particularly well, which is unfortunate. See if I go to the shadows and shift. Yeah, that's rough, man. So I'm really just trying to mess with the colors of my face, but like, you know, these are some very clearly black shorts that colors here I'm also messing with, so this would have to be one of those things where we take the positive and then try to just adjust it from there. But this seems, as it stands, not the best. So we'll probably keep it like this. Even what we had from earlier was probably better. Oof, this one. This one's not so great a picture. Got a round gut. Giannis's face. Oof. Giannis's face had a tragedy around my stomach. Pretty normal picture of me here, but I think also suffers a little bit from some underexposure. And I think moving forward, I really gotta trust not underexposing. But it's hard because I just like it. I like it too much. Look at my skin. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. So good. That was probably our best bet. Hold on. Let's try that again. That's crazy. Alright. This troubles me, man, because this negative doesn't seem that bad. Oh, there's nothing I can do there. Alright. This one I really like. Just I think maybe it was just a factor of scanning it, seeing like, oh man, this is like such a winner compared to the previous two rolls. See, this one, that's a damn good shot of Jose, right in right in focus, exposed quite a bit better than some of our previous shots, but this one too, man, this one is fantastic. That one, man, I feel like this might be one of the best shots. This one is just so, I don't know. I really liked how this one turned out. Of everything I've done here, I think that might have been one of the best. Just wished I didn't blow it on some of the other ones, especially Jose, man. Just trying to get him a good shot here. Wasn't able to seal the deal there. Tyson with Perrier. Oops. What have I done? Okay. This one's alright. I like it. I like it. That one's out of focus. Ah, this one's so sad. So sad. Let's take a look and see what I got. Did. Hold up. I'm gonna look at this one too. See, this one was 145th. Man, I really wished I got that one. Way too ridiculous here. Look at that one. I can see here that like I could have exposed this up and this could have been just way stronger. I should have bracketed. So I shined a light onto him. It's just like my phone light. So there's gonna be a little bit of blur in here. This was a dark shed. Alright, there we go. So a little bit of shake just because of the 120. This is, I feel like this one right here was like the best. This was a nighttime shot of the resort from up in the lighthouse. This is, I think this turned out to be quite a bit better. You get this situation where it kind of looks like it kind of looks like that's really what it was. It was like a reality TV show mansion. Talking about The Bachelor. Got that situation going on. I think it's the best I've gotten of this, so we're gonna mark that. I don't think that this shot is better than this one. Which is interesting. Because this one isn't even like a wide lens. Let's get this angle right. Better? Let's keep trying it. Ah, wait a second. Ah, the music. What has happened? It's just demonetizing all my videos, man. Alright, here we go. I keep forgetting to hit that repeat button, so it ends up going to radio. Hugely disappointing. I'm not even getting money. Like, these videos aren't even being monetized. I hate the idea of seeing those copyright claims. Alright. Back at it. I feel like I'm not getting this right at all. Try that. I feel like that's the closest. Even then, this guy's pretty underexposed. I wonder. Bummer. Yeah, this one's like, I spent all this time working on the angle here. It's at minus 0.48. I want to redo this, see if we can get a better landscape inversion here. That is better. We go and shadow soft on everything because of all my underexposure. 0.48. Bring this in. Because of wider lens, we got quite a bit more, but we also end up getting like a lot of this stuff. It's like, I wonder, if you get rid of that, is this a better shot? And I don't really know how to answer that honestly, because it's like, I don't know what this whole vineyard situation going on here. Kind of an eyesore, but I do like the rest of the resort here. And we just start cropping that away, and it just ends up looking a little bit bizarre. Yeah, I don't know, it's just too weird. Yeah, I don't think that 45 beats it. Okay, still moving backwards here. This one's, I really wish this one had some better coloration. Let's see if we can export positive. See what we can do about this guy. Alrighty. So here's the positive. So I don't even know. Does that work? Kind of is working. Wow, that actually is working a little better than I anticipated. Bringing the life back into his skin. And I wonder how well we might be able to do this for some of these other shots. So like, for example, there's this one here of Ada. What happens when we sync this? So here's Ada. And if I export this picture, wait, did I already do that? No. If I export this picture here, then what if I like just sync these settings on the positive with this new positive? I'm doubtful this will work the way I want it to. Yeah, I feel like there's really almost no difference. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is probably just delete this guy. Go back here. Try to re-invert this in some strange capacity. How do we want to do that? There's gotta be a way, man. Gotta be a way. And convert. Oh, this. We're gonna go back to. So this is where we landed. So when I did the frame white balance, this is where we got. How do I reset? Okay, this is as shots. What if I go to as shot there? Oh, yikes. Let's try this out. I don't know what to say other than this is like actually not worse. It's not worse than it was. But there's still like, there's still a grayness here. This is interesting. Crystal takes it and makes it like, I don't know, more washed out, but less weird. I don't know. I really want to figure this out. Like if I shift the tint really low. Interesting. Meanwhile, I shift it really high. Okay, so that's not the right path. So we want to go lower here. Now what if I shift the tint real high? That becomes totally green. And that becomes totally magenta. So here's our white balance as shot. So the custom has that tint at +2. And a 3250 on that temp. Now we bring this down. What if we bring this way down? Interesting. Interesting. Sumiko, hey, nice. You shoot medium format. How have you been finding it? Just chill. Sumiko, welcome to the stream. Yeah, no, it's chill. We've been working on some scans all night. And Thixius, welcome. Welcome. Good to see you again. Yeah, I've been taking it around. I think I guess I'll just preface this. I've long had this intermittent situation where specifically Kodak Portra, most frequently 160 and 400. I sometimes get these weird color casts after developing it, but not always. That's what's a little bit weird. So I'm just trying to go through and just see if we can get the colors close to right, because I mean it's a lot of these photos are just completely borked. But as for shooting medium format in general, it's cool. I use a Contax 645 on every shot or only some. It's sometimes like it'll be whole rolls. And my only great explanation for it is I've gotten this a lot, not only on medium format but also on 35 millimeter. And I've gotten this over the years. My only guess is that I think specifically 160 and 400 Portra, they're a lot more sensitive to like just being kept well. I actually had let's call it an assignment. I'm just here. I'm gonna plug this now. I have a film photography development and scanning service. If you want to hit the exclamation film, you can see that. I think I have some pretty affordable prices, but no one really sees or knows how to access my service, and I don't really promote it super hard, just because it is a bit of work, but it's a service that's available. But anyways, someone commissioned me to develop some film for them, and I think it was multiple rolls of Ektar 100 on 35 millimeter. And I did them all in the same tank, same chemistry and all that. And I pulled them all out. And it was weird. Like it came to me as like only one of them had the correct color cast, but they were all the same film stock, all the same chemistry. And the only thing that I could really think of was that it's just sensitivity in the type of film stock, like exactly the sensitivity. Because in terms of what was on those rolls, I can kind of show. Let's take a look. We're just gonna go. Actually, I'm just recalling the person who did this, who wanted the service from me, didn't want it shown on stream. So maybe I shouldn't show it. But only one, they were all Ektar 100, and only one of them had color cast, or like had the correct color. And the only thing that I could really ascertain was really how you keep the film in the environment that you keep the film in, because from what I could tell is like some of these were very old rolls, and like the ones that were color casted badly were like, you could just tell by the content of the roll, like it was in the desert. Like, so like the ones that had these strange color casts were in the desert, and then the one singular one that was fine was like not in the desert. Like, I'm thinking like your environment kind of plays a factor. And so I'm looking at this, let's see, 2 of these 160s that I scanned today kind of like had this look to them, and granted, I had some user error here because, you know, I was underexposing a lot of this. So like I'm looking at this, and this is like the best colors I could draw out from NLP, like the NLP algorithm. Let's see, this one right here, this was a different roll, but also it was from the same box of 160. But yeah, like humidity or something, it might be, it could be humidity, it could be heat. So this is the same one from 160, and I feel like, well, even here the color isn't quite perfect. Like skin tone's just not, it's not that nice, like fleshy, more orange skin tone that I come to like out of people's skin. Meanwhile, so those 2 were shot in San Francisco. Meanwhile, I bring a separate, and this was like maybe about a week or 2 later, I bring a separate 160 roll. And then you end up getting some slightly different colors just out of it. Still like a little bit washed out in some ways, but I think that these came out just a little bit better than the other roll, especially this shot right here. Here it's I think the NLP came in a little bit bright, but skin tones just came in way better. So that's just, I mean, all of this is just talking. We're talking colors. We're talking how the photos sort of come out here, but I'm realizing again, I don't think I answered your question of how am I finding medium format. That's chill. I got this Contax 645. Yeah, there's a lot of variables, definitely. I got this Contax 645, which is like, it's crazy because I felt like I spent infinite money on it when I bought it 2 years. I think it was 2 years ago. Must have been 2 years ago now. But now it's like, it feels like it's like doubled in price. At this stage, it's pretty gnarly, I gotta say. The 645, it's like some of what you get is like really unreal. Like, let's take a look. I think Ada took the shot, or the camera, out of my hands at this point. Let's take a look. I mean, that 80 millimeter f2 lens is just like, it gives you something that's just like, I mean, it's unreal. And I think like all of the, like really when you're buying these 645 packages with that 80 millimeter Zeiss lens, all the money is going into that lens here. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think this one is probably like, had to have been the most exaggerated one out of everything I've scanned today. But yeah, it's nuts. Again, I love it. I love the camera. I apologize for maybe some of the stuff you might be seeing in terms of what the actual photos are. A lot of I think user error just in terms of underexposure, framing, composition, and all that. And then also variables here with the film stock too. The 645 again, it's temperamental for sure. Like everything about it. Me, the user, using the camera as well as like the film stock. 645. I feel like it's kind of what I've just been hearing is like it's really the quintessential like wedding photography camera on medium format film, that 645 format there. I don't shoot weddings, so it's really like I dumped a bunch of money in this like sort of like from more so from a hobby standpoint. I do want to take it because I am going back to shooting concerts, and I've never shot a concert on medium format before, and part of me is like really excited to be able to, but another part of me is like very nervous for so many reasons. Like I don't know that I can get like for one is like it's a really expensive thing, and it's just like throwing it around, especially when they'll kick me out of the camera pit and back into the GA pit. It's like this is kind of scary to be able to throw around something here that's worth probably close to like $4,000 or $5,000 at this point. On top of that, I only have one back, and there's almost no way there's almost no way that I'll be able to like reload like a 120 back like in the dark. So it's like I need to get more backs, but then like an individual back is like $500 at this point. So it's like I'll be getting what 32 film shots at a concert, which is like less than a 35mm roll, like a single one. So on top of that, like when I can nail a 120 shot, as I've been like seldom using it over the last 2 years, when I can nail it, it's like I think like one of the most beautiful things that I could do. But like it's like at this stage I feel like I'm spraying and praying, and like with medium format, which is not cheap, and so it's like my success rate is pretty low. So it's just, it's got all kinds of fear in me, and like yeah, on medium format it's tough. I haven't gone into this, so I haven't gone into it yet. So it's like my Nikon F6, I've taken that to shows, I've taken that just everywhere, and it's the Nikon F6 on 35mm. It's that I gotta say is also just like so incredibly beautiful, but you know, it's a different look. It's definitely like I'm getting something different out of it that I can't get out of my Contax 645. That said, I can't get the look out of my Contax 645 that I can get out of my F6 either. It's just kind of like it's a different thing. So it's like if I want to be totally safe, like I'm taking a 35 F6 with me for sure. And that's just the reality of just trying to get it right. Yeah. So yeah, medium format is chill, but like it's like either I gotta just be way smarter and like just do my homework here, and part of that is like really getting comfortable with the unit. And another part of it is maybe I just gotta shoot more with it, and by virtue of that just burn more money. Pues amigo, glad you could be here. We've done 5 rolls. I had five medium format rolls, and with that I just wanted to show something. I don't know if you or anybody else in here develops your own film, but just trying to learn. I've been trying to learn a lot more about, again, like the film stock. Like when do you not burn money in photography? It's true. I've been trying to learn more about like things like the film stock, like I've been trying to mention, is like I've been wondering for years now, like for what must be like 4 years now, just trying to figure out why I get these crazy color casts like in portrait. And it's just like I've just been trying to I'm just doing my silly Google research. I feel like I should try to figure out a way, like a better way to really learn all this stuff. But I mean, doing your Google research is what I feel like has kind of put a lot of us in trouble here. I haven't yet because I'm too scared to buy it all and fail and give up. Yeah, to be fair, it's like I hope to not deter you by the costs here of like the Contact 645, just because it's such a it's such an outlier. I mean, medium format I don't think is supposed to be as expensive as like I've made it. But anyways, I wanna grab this. So I was learning about a little bit more about the film stock stuff here, but I also learned this little trick, and I want to be able to show this. Is even just film and developing? Yeah. All right, so I wanted to be able to show this little trick that I learned on this Google search. Sorry, I'm moving back and forth here. So, I should find a smaller tank, but I'll pull all of these out. Give me a second, guys. I do really like I've all stream. I've been meaning to show this off, and I was waiting till like the very end. And we haven't even done really like the full-on goal of this stream, but spent a fair bit on digital already. So that's a whole conversation too that I'd love to be able to have, but I just want to show this real quick. So I'm gonna go to my overhead real quick. Oh, whoops! What has happened there? Okay. Okay, so photo film. So this is just like a Patterson tank. This is like a very common, like well-known, well-used like tank mechanism to develop your film in. So the idea here is like that like you don't need a dark room. You don't need a dark room to develop your own film at home. You just need a lot of other equipment that'll supplant the use for a dark room. But some of the stuff you'll need anyways. So this is a Patterson tank. What you do is you load your film onto this reel, like a plastic reel. So we'll focus this. You load your film onto this plastic reel, and you just kind of like you load it in, you ratchet it on. Once you get to the end of the film is like attached to the canister, and you just like snip it off or do what you need to do to just get it off. And so your film is loaded onto this reel, and it's just like spiraled in as you ratchet it in. And this makes sure that none of the film is touching itself, so that the chemical fluids, the chemistry, they often use the term, the chemistry is able to get through all of the film just evenly. And so this is a 2-reel tank. This is the tank that I started off with. I actually, if you guys want to see it, people think this is like we've seen it as a little ridiculous. This is like a 5-reel tank. 5 35mm rolls will fit in here. But if you expand your universal reels, this can go up to 3 120s, 3 medium formats. So I use this larger tank, but I just want to quickly show something here. I've been meaning to show this all stream, and I'm glad you guys are here to watch this. And there's a reason why I've been waiting. So this is the tank here. There's like the spool thing, I don't know what you call it, here in the middle. You just load it in once this is all in. Now I learned this trick just Googling. So you have like these 35mm rolls, and so it's really thin here, and what you do is you ratchet it on. 35mm rolls, typically you see them in like 24 or 36 exposures, so it's kind of a lot of length here in the film. So it'll make its way kind of all the way through as you continue to ratchet it on. Sometimes you'll get them, like I've seen 27 exposures, I've seen like 12. Those are weird. I hardly ever see them. But you can expand this just by pulling this up and then reeling your 120 in. The thing is, like, 120 is, it's literally physically bigger film, like in terms of like the film strip width is thicker. But typically the 120s that you get, like, I mean, I've only ever seen them 16 exposures, so it's a lot shorter. So as you ratchet it on, you're not really using much of the roll here, or the reel here. And so this is what I wanted to show, this trick I learned. So what I was doing for some time before I learned the trick was, and this is I just want to be able to show this. This is a little bit harder with medium format film, but let's see if we can get it. You get this on here, and you just kind of slide it in. Gotta just get both sides in. I usually do this blind in what they call a dark bag. You throw your tank in, you throw the reels in and the film, and it's a double zipped bag with armholes on the other side. So you just kind of do that like a nuclear power plant from The Simpsons. You just kind of do that all blind. So sometimes I do this blind, and 120 can sometimes be really, really finicky trying to get this onto the reel. But let's try and see. I think I've already kind of blown it here, so I don't want to bend the film, but I realize I'm probably already doing that. Yikes. I'm trying to show you guys this trick, but I'm struggling to not even get to the trick part yet. Okay, so it's on, and I'm just kind of here ratcheting it now, just trying to make sure it stays within the boundaries and can kind of get on. Now this is having quite a bit of trouble. Now I almost never do this with vision, so it's really weird to actually see this at this point. It really helps, but it's again really weird. Let's try and see if we can get this in. Parts of it sometimes just hang, which is like some of the more annoying, especially in 120. Really annoying thing that sometimes just happens. Alright, it appears to again be caught. Okay, I think we've got it. Pretty smooth sailing, I think, at this point. That's really cool because I never look at this, and now I know what the problem is whenever I'm trying to ratchet in 120 film into this reel. So you just ratchet all the way in, just like this, and you're done. Once it gets through, you're done. And then you can like just kind of keep it going too. You just keep pushing that in. And so all of it is in, and it's no longer a long film strip. It's kind of like coiled and spiraled into this unit here. And so what I used to do is, okay, like I throw this into the tank and into the 5-reel tank. You only get 3 of these. It's really a 3-reel tank for 120. I do 3 rolls at a time, and it's just like, ah, shit, I don't get to do as many as I can for 35 millimeter, because 35 I could get 5 of them. All right, I've been teasing for so long. The trick is, because you aren't using like as much of the length here, while it's still here, and I just never knew this, like you can just continue using it. Like you could just put in a second roll, and like my mind was like blown when I heard this. Just throw your second roll in here. So you get your second roll, and then you just like continue ratcheting once you can align it properly. So look at that. I mean, it's just like, I don't know if you guys could see that there, but it just like, just at the edges connects. It looks like I may have kind of blown it there, but let's see if we can try to redo this. I think I want to leave a gap for sure. Like a fair gap. Okay. Let's try this again. So I have no idea if, like, I just tried it for the first time yesterday. Because I had 5 rolls, I was initially thinking, I guess I gotta do like 2 tanks worth. It's so obvious and also not, yeah, I don't know, it's just silly. I was thinking I gotta do 2 tanks worth, I guess. So it's just like, you know, go through the whole development process all at once, or twice. And then I recalled that there was this little trick. Okay, so it's weird. It's definitely weird because somehow I'm having less success doing this not blind. Strange. Like that whole piece is just kind of like jutting out. We're gonna get this. I'm gonna do like a super cut of this on YouTube or something, and then it's gonna be like totally. It's gonna be totally seamless here. Alright, we're almost getting it. Okay. There's enough of a gap. So it's weird because I'm noticing as I'm doing it live and with my eyesight, what I'm noticing is that when you ratchet on the second one, it's gonna just like naturally want to reach the end of the first, which is a little bit weird and interesting. Okay, we are almost through. Let's try this. We're almost there. Just like struggling to get the sometimes something hangs. It's a little annoying. It's especially annoying when you're like very close to the end. Because you're just like, you know, you're so close. It's just like, why wouldn't I go through? We're getting there. It's basically in. Okay, cool. All right, so that's it. And so both of these are in there now. And technically, I believe there's just like less length, less actual film length than a 36 exposure roll of 35mm film. So one single reel could hold 2 rolls. You could actually do, 6 rolls in a single like long tank. Just gonna do it like that. 2, 3. And you just throw it all in the tank while you're in the dark bag, and then what happens is, say you're closing this tank, right? There's this sort of like funnel situation here where you can tell here at this stage that the spool in the middle, like the short end of this funnel just kind of sticks in there, and so this becomes a entirely light safe tank that will allow liquids to pass through it. So you don't even need a dark room. So you just have to figure out what chemicals it is you need, and then you need to do the order properly. It's cool. So I learned that just Googling. I just thought it was a really cool trick that actually became useful when I realized I had a lot of 120 rolls on backlog here. Oh, you need the chemical bit in the bag? No, so I'll quickly show this. I've done development streams in the past. I like doing them. It's just the part that's just tough to deal with is setting it up. Setting up like moving all my cameras and stuff. Anyways, so this is literally, it's kind of like a nylon garbage bag like situation here. So here's there's like 2 sets of zippers just so you can be absolutely certain. I think it's kind of dark. 2 sets of zippers just so you can be certain that everything is completely light safe. On the other hand, or on the other side, you have little elastic sleeves for your hands to go into. So it'd be kind of like Homer at the power plant. And so you just kind of do everything from inside the bag in terms of transferring the film from the canister or the your medium format reel into the actual developable tank reel. And so once you do that, this becomes a light safe tank that you could take out of the bag, and then just like, because this is a light safe tank, you don't need the bag anymore. You pour your chemicals in, then you can pour them out. So yeah. How do I put this? Would I recommend doing this at home? You gotta be doing a lot. This is not really economical if you're not shooting super frequently. Like, how do I put this? There's a shop down the street that I used to go to 4 years ago. Yeah, I think about 4 years ago. It was $6 a roll, but it was just like, you know, no pushing or pulling. I think it was more expensive for black and white. It was just like, you know, all these rolls. And it was $6 a roll then. I don't know if the prices went up since then, but I do know that like when you take it to a Walgreens or CVS, it's even more expensive. I've heard people say that their Walgreens it'll be like $15. I've heard someone even say it was 30. So I don't know if it's just like different across America. It's kind of ridiculous per roll, but if you can find someone that's doing it for like $5 to $10 a roll, and you're only shooting like 3 rolls a year, then you might as well just take it to somebody who will do that for you. Me, it's like in the last 4 years I've shot like 400 rolls. So like I don't know how to say it. It's like it's a little bit less practical. Like I would rather, just in terms of services of getting an already shot roll done, it makes more sense to me to develop it at home. You need to get through the overhead of what equipment you need. Like, I mean, these tanks, depending on what sizes you get, it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be like in the double digits. The reels, like these are separated reels here that have these are aftermarket reels that kind of make it easier for you to reel them in, reel the actual film in. The dark bag, the chemicals are the ongoing cost. I have a sous vide, like I have a sous vide that I've never used for food. I've only just used it for film development. You know, just random containers, like for the sous vide, or graduates, so that you know how to mix the chemicals yourself. All of these things, it's the overhead, but at the end of the day, it's like, I think it's paid off, given that like I've had so many rolls to develop. Now that said, I probably forced it to pay off because that's kind of like encouraged me to shoot more. So it's a cycle, I guess. So yeah, that's my situation. Okay, so I'm going through right now. We're gonna switch back to my screen real quick as I just figure out what we have here on this roll. Okay, so real quick, we've done a bunch of scans today. Let's go back to my quick collection here. I think we started, where did we start? I guess it would be here. So I have a solid, what is this, 18 shots that I liked more than the other 62. And Yeah, 400 makes more sense for sure. Yeah. Okay, so Sumiko or anyone else who's out there who wants to just help me decide which of these is the shot of the night. We're gonna figure out which one we want to post to Instagram. I think that was okay. Get that out of the way. All right, shot of the night. Let's see. We had this. This is at the Japanese Tea Garden, Golden Gate Park, San Francisco. Another shot here of under construction pagoda. This is funny because it's like a nice sight to see and it's just under construction. This little deer statue here in the distance. All on 120, 5 rolls, 17 best. This one here is of Tyson, but Ty bot here. Looking in the distance, this is. The rest of these are going to be shots from Malibu. Went to a little mansion in Malibu for a kind of a getaway weekend here with a bunch of other folks, maybe about 15, 20 other folks here. This one I quite liked, I think. I don't know. I feel like this is one of the best shots of the night. I really, really liked how this turned out right here. Another here of Tyson. View from the mansion estate in the backyard, pointing out to the Pacific. High view of the mansion estate from the attached or the detached lighthouse tower. A chicken. It's a chicken. This is Ada. Jose drunk and asleep in the pool. Shot here of preparation for the Saturday dinner. And yet another one here. That's one of me. Ada took the camera from my hands. I snapped some shots. These are 2 that I got. I liked them both. Here's another one. I guess I like this too. It's just me tying my hair. I think this is must be 4 sessions in of this tattoo removal right here. The underneath of this big piece here. Yupu looking concerned. Ada at sunrise. And I think that was it. So, if you or anybody else there has any thoughts on what to post, a shot of the night, I'm happy to post it. Kind of feeling like this might be it. I wonder also, I'm going to reset it and then just see if we can just get something different out of the colors. I mean, I liked how it already was. I vote first pool one, your peace sign, or last Ada one. All right. Very cool. All right, I like trimming that down. I appreciate that. Let's see if doing this re-inversion will sprout up any different colors. I'm gonna imagine I might not like it as much, but let's just see what happens. A little more muted here, a little more contrasty for sure. I feel like this is kind of all right in this direction by this point. All right. And then just so we could do a good side-by-side comparison, let's take a look and compare. This definitely has like a crazy, like more blue cast. But I think it was just so striking when I first saw it like this, because it was Sight for Sore Eyes based off of some of the color issues we had from the previous 2 rolls I had been scanning all night. This one here looks like more realistic colors. So colors that make more sense. So either one of these I really quite like. You like the peace sign one, and then the last Ada one. It's like this one I find just so interesting because I feel like it's a really, really, really good shot. First good shot I got of this against this background, because I think the sun was just finally coming out at a different angle, knowing that it was at sunrise, but it was pretty heavily underexposed, which is kind of why you get a little bit of fading here at the bottom. That skin tone is nice, and it's got a nice warm tone. Golden hour, yeah. So yeah, I'll think a little bit more. I think I might, for now. I feel like this is definitely one I'm going to be posting at some point in the future, but for now, it's either got to be Ada or Jose. So two shots of the night, I guess. So I guess we'll post these up on the Discord. I'm happy to know it and happy to hear it. Let's take a look. All right, I think that's pretty much does it for me here. We got a 3.5 hour stream, just working on these 5 rolls to scan, kind of reviewing, not really culling, but more reviewing what we had. Going over, we opened up some packages, which I realized we opened up these packages earlier, but before I had the overhead set up. We got a couple of JST connectors and JST cables for my broken Plane 60 PCBs. So we're gonna try to go the JST route and see how this will fare. So we'll try this out. I just want to be able to show this because didn't have the overhead earlier. Didn't have the overhead earlier. Excuse me. I think that just about does it. So let's take a look and see who's online tonight. We could probably do a keyboard streamer. I feel like tons and tons of traffic go through keyboards here. Also kind of want to check out who is on doing Twitch for photography here. So it looks like online there's one person doing an astronomy stream. That's pretty interesting. So it's like kind of related to photography, like not in the same sense that I'm working on this photography here, but it is photography for sure. Just a little bit different than I was thinking. Moon Operator, oh, thanks for this. Hey, Moon Operator, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate having you here, as usual. I feel like I'm gonna raid Econ Greg because I just haven't seen him before. All right, so Carrie, thanks for being here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. All right, guys. I'm just gonna smash a couple of. Sorry, I was looking. It was all good. Thanks for all the info and tips. Hey, yeah, I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to be able to share with you guys. A little bit out of focus here. Again, come back to it. This among one of the two. This is among one of the two. Here they are. The two shots of the night. We'll post this up on Discord. I've joined Discord. See, right on. Okay, yeah. While we're out of here, let's punch these in. All right. Discord command for anybody out there who's lurking, hasn't joined. There it is. Hey, as we've been doing all day, my film photography service. Check that out if you so please. Then finally, just a link to my charity page here for the San Francisco Marine Food Bank. Drop your donations in there. Business subs also go there too. So, all right, guys, I'm done for the night. I think, and I'm really hoping, we're gonna try to get that Matrix Falcon build in this week. So that's hopefully probably gonna be Thursday. Really hoping to be able to do that. If things switch around, then it'll be early next week, but likely gonna be Thursday evening. So, all right, guys. until next time, good night from San Francisco. We're going to be rating Econ Greg. Appreciate it, guys.